Hi, welcome along to the Form. Great to have your company today as we look forward to what is a massive weekend of racing. Of course, it is Cox Plate weekend as well. We'll look ahead to that on the Form today as well as Thursday racing. Keep it locked in. Let's see who's coming up on the Form today. We'll talk to Matthew Cross around the Addington harness meeting on Thursday night. Philippa Morris will give us the insight into Thursday Greyhound racing. David Eustace and Kira Ma have a big team of horses in this week. We'll talk about the feature ones of those, and Tommy Berry will talk around his weekend rides here on the Form. Chance for us now to talk Thursday night harness racing out of Addington as well, and taking us through the meeting is Matthew Cross. Matt, just tell us around what we can look forward to at Addington.
Yeah, it's a decent even night, Aiden, and having a scroll through it, it sort of looks like one of those nights where you might be able to multi a few favourites up. It's a little bit of a precursor, I guess, for what's to come, not only for Riccarton on Saturday with the thoroughbreds, but through to Monday, Flying Stakes Day on Labour Day, and then the following week we're off to Kaikoura, and yeah, we're a little closer than what I thought to the big week coming up. Of course, the news has come out during the week with obviously the COVID restrictions. Both Riccarton and Addington are now sort of just a little bit too close to the time to be able to schedule anything like it normally is. But I guess we take this year as it is and look forward to what it could be next year. And then hopefully even by Christmas time, we can get all of those really good races with crowds back on course. But I think it's a good betting night, Aidan. I've got a couple of horses for you to follow, which will likely be short, but I think they're multi-anchors. Race number 6. Runner number 6, Allegra. She's unbeaten out of 2 starts. Sat outside of Life's a Beach last time and beat her. Life's a Beach has been a subsequent winner. All the talk is around Allegra from the Dun Basin. I think that she'll be winning race number 6, probably around that 150, 160 mark. But if you're looking to take a bit of a multi, I'd certainly be anchoring her. The other one that I like is in race number 5. He took no part in the race last week after losing the driver early. That's Regal Attire. Number 5 in race number 5. Mark Purdon jumps off this week. Natalie Rasmussen gets on. You lose nothing there. Mobile start 1980. He ticks a lot of boxes. He'll be short, but he's a multi-anchor. And the junior drivers race number 4, is a race that you're probably going to find your best value of the night. Looks a pretty even go, and they might set up a good clip up front. I thought number 11, Boom, slots into the race quite nicely. His run 2 starts ago at Addington was excellent. Sam Thornley driving well at the moment, picked up a winner on Sunday at Oamaru. And if he can negotiate a passage through the field, then I think Boom can win race number 4 on the program. But it's a little bit of a low-key meeting, Aiden, in comparison to what we've got to come on Monday. Of course, we look forward to the Flying Stakes, Self-Assured. We see Krug back to the races. Big news out of the Kentuckiana Lodge team that he'll be staying put here in New Zealand. No Australian trip for him. So a bit of a draw card, I guess, to Cup Week and the junior free-for-all likely for him. And he'll kick off on Monday out of the Flying Stakes.
Yep, really look forward to that action. Matt, just talk a little bit before you go on Kaikoura. Is that meeting taking place at South Bay?
It isn't this year, Aiden. So the club, very much like Addington and Riccarton, they made their call about a couple of weeks ago that they're going to move it to Addington. And I guess the negative out of it, Aiden, is that we lose that atmosphere. It's one of the great race days, I guess, when you're able to go there to Kaikoura with the brilliant backdrop that they do have. They're moving to Addington. On the plus side is I think that we're probably going to get the Cup field go into the Kaikoura Cup. It's a couple of days from what we normally have as the Cup trial. I'd be surprised if anything even went to the Cup trial this year with that race on the Monday at Addington. It's close to home for most people. All of the big guns will be here in Canterbury. And it just gives them a little couple more days out from the Cup, whereas the Cup trial is only 6 days before the Cup. You've got 8 days with Kaikoura. So just those 2 days might work in favour of a few. So the Kaikoura Cup this year, as disappointing as it is to not have it at Kaikoura, might be one of the best fields we've had for quite some time.
Brilliant. Really appreciate you taking us through that, Matt, and good luck with your selection for Addington on Thursday.
Thanks, Aidan.
Really nice meeting. Good afternoon to you, Aidan. Look, 15 race program And in this one, you've got Lisa Cole coming down too from the Central Districts. Really good dog called Typhoon Tim making his debut against Big Time Prada. She's 9 from 10. And then you got a par with Phil in that race as well, Aidan. That's won his last 2, beating dogs like Big Time Cooper. That's the feature on the card, and there's a 457 for the Class 5s too. So it's a meeting you don't want to miss. There's some really nice head-to-head action. Hope I can find a best for us this time, Aidan. I've gone for race number 9, the 2 Dark Hazard. She was really luckless last time, got sandwiched out of the boxes. And I think the main danger in that race is her kennelmate, a par with Sandridge, funnily enough. He beat her just, but she made up a stack of ground. I think from box 2 this time, she's a winner in that race. Yeah, I think later on in the card, race 14, a dog called a par with Bailey for Sam Lozelle. I think he'll be value. He's dropping out of Class 5 company, but he comes into quite a handy field, drawn out wide in box number 8. That's where he likes to be. Got a check last time up in the grade, and he only finished 5 lengths away from the winner in the fastest time of the day. So I think he'll be value there in the 14.
And a chance for us to head to Melbourne with a massive weekend of racing ahead of us. We'll grab David Eustace, who trains in partnership with Kira Maher. And firstly, David, I just want to express on behalf of New Zealand Racing Circle just our real condolences around the loss of your star horse, Sir Dragonade, from last week. Obviously, it would have been a real hit to the stable, I'm thinking.
Yeah, thank you. It was a really tough morning, Saturday morning. It's something that you just don't really expect to ever happen. And for a horse who was as sound and as genuine and as brave as that, it came as a real shock. So it obviously rocked the stable and the owners and everyone involved in him. And, with racing, as everyone knows, really, the show has to go on. And in many ways, that's a good thing that you haven't got too much time to dwell on it, and you've just got to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got a really big weekend of racing coming up. First of all, let's talk Cox Plate, because obviously it's a real focus for many. And to have such a hand in the race, that's a real credit to the stable, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Big weekend. I think it numerically could be our biggest of the whole spring. So it's very exciting and great to take a serious team there with some seriously live chances. So it's very exciting.
Absolutely. Can you break down your chances? First of all, just take some of the mystery away from Gold Trip for us.
Yeah, look, he's thriving. We're really happy with him. He's got a trot up tomorrow, which should be fine, and then we're on track. And he's drawn 2, which is it's obviously a pretty good barrier. It's probably not the perfect barrier for those European horses, but we have popped him out of the gates here, which will definitely help. And he's got top class European Group 1 form, which will stand up down here, no doubt. And whatever he does in the Cox Plate, he's going to be a serious horse for the next couple of years, hopefully. But we're really happy with the way he's improved since landing. Is a bit stiff when he arrived, but he's continued to progress. And we're going to get, touch wood, we're going to get rain. Looking outside, it's going to be a beautiful day today, but hopefully we get a drop of rain at the end of the week, so that'll be a big plus.
Obviously, his European form is top class, as you talk about. But what type of horse is he? Is he big and robust? And what's his racing style?
He's a big, scopy horse. I wouldn't say he's hugely robust. He's quite athletic, and he's a well-muscled animal, but he's not heavy or overly strong. He's a very sort of efficient mover. And to be honest, his strengths are that he is very no-nonsense. It appears you can put him anywhere in a race. He switches off, drops his head, can quicken off a strong tempo. And that's really helped with his attitude being so good in his races. That's helped with him handling the travel so well. And very similar to Sir Dragonade in that sense, in that you don't really know that they're there, and there's no fuss. He's a colt, but you wouldn't really know, and that's a big tick. So they're all things that are very important when you're traveling these horses and then settling into the environment. So I think the tempo of the Cox Plate will really suit him. They, tend to go quick, and that's what we would call quick is a normal European run race, in that they go solid for a long way, and that'll be a big plus if they do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he had a bit of a spin around Moonee Valley on Tuesday morning. What was the reaction to that?
Yeah, he worked Saturday. We didn't go Tuesday, but
Right.
had a nice gap on Saturday, and he worked nicely. Ollie, commented that he doesn't wow you in his work, which didn't surprise us either. He is a very relaxed customer. He had a good look around. So obviously big plus just being able to go there and do that. But he was happy with him. It's more about just getting familiarized with the track, the turn, getting on the right leg, which he did, and just going through his gears nicely enough.
Okay, what do you expect from him?
I'd expect him to be right there. His form is excellent. He seems in great nick. We obviously don't know what the horse is like, or when he's racing at his best, in that we haven't got his racing weight. We don't really know what times he runs, etc. But just going off how the horse has handled the travel, the experience of having Sir Dragonet the previous year, and what you've got to do to get them right on the day, he seems to be doing that. So, we'd be disappointed if he wasn't right in the mix.
Okay, safely through Saturday's race. Could he go on to a Melbourne Cup?
Yeah, he could do. Yeah, we'll certainly be very mindful of how he comes through the run, but it's a possibility.
Okay, talking Melbourne Cup, and you've got a few going around in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup on Saturday. How's your team shaping for the first Tuesday of November?
Yeah, good. Floating Artist runs Saturday in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup. If he wins that, he should get enough of a penalty to line up. Persam was obviously a huge run in the Caulfield Cup. We were delighted with that run, and he's come through the run particularly well. We know he stays. Would be I think between the three of them, really, we've got Grand Promenade and Explosive Jack. They're all three horses that are thorough stayers. I think you can put a line through Explosive Jack's run, and Caulfield, he got back on the fence, cluttered up. They went slow, muddling pace. It's just not him at all. He'll, a wider barrier and a stronger gallop in the Melbourne Cup over 2 miles is going to be much more him, which, we should get that. And Grand Promenade is the same. He's a thorough stayer. We're really hoping we get a strong gallop, and if it's not set by someone else, then it could be set by us, because all three will be at their best if they're going at a strong tempo. And Persan and Grand Prom have sort of shown that they're able to actually do that, get a roll up on speed and set a good gallop if need be. So we wouldn't be afraid to do that.
Okay, good. Yeah. So can you just give us your assessment of that Moonee Valley Gold Cup? Who's your best chance in that?
Well, Floating Art's the only runner. He that's actually going there. The other guys will just go straight in from the Caulfield Cup and from the Bart Cummings. So Floating Artist, he should have won the other day, frankly, and has come through that run okay. So he'll relish going to 1.5 miles.
Okay, let's get you back a day into that Manikato on Friday night, and a decent team heading there as well, with key runners in the race. How are you assessing them?
Yeah, look, we've got 4 runners. It looks like we're just sort of scatterbombing the race, but all 4 of them have actually got genuine chances of winning. We identified the race really is not going to be that strong this year. It's 6 days from the Everest. I don't think there's a huge depth of talent in the sprinting ranks away from the sort of top half dozen that all ran in the Everest, and rightly so. So Crystal Bound and Sneaky 5, they carry 51, which was the same as Gabby did 2 years ago. And, we think it's a huge advantage them being able to do that. They're both winners around the valley. There's not much between them. They're both very live chances. Bella Nepotina is a mare still improving, we feel. It was a a career best the other day in a Group 2 on top of the ground, and she's going to get a bit of give, or we hope, on Friday night, which she loves. An away game, at her best, is arguably better than the other three. So I'm not fence sitting. There's I don't think there's a lot between them. What it'll come down to for everyone is whether you get the right run or not. We all know what the Valley's like. Bella and Crystal are drawn 1 and 2. They're going to be able to posse up and sit 1-2 if possible.
Yeah, and I guess that away game draw makes it a little bit tricky, though, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, she's going to have to take her medicine and hope that they go quick and they're making ground, which they could be, especially if there is cut in the ground. So I don't think it's disastrous either. Sneaky might have the best of the lot. So yeah, she has really come through that first effort very well when she won, and I think could be the one. So I don't know. We'll see. I invariably get it. I invariably get it wrong, so I won't choose which one.
Fair enough. You're giving us some good insight there. And obviously, there's as you said, a huge number of runners numerically, all over the show for the stable. But can you maybe just pick out a few, especially in the feature races Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, I think Generation runs in the red anchor, the 3-year-old 1200. We specifically targeted this race and is in excellent form. And was an unlucky third at the Valley the other day. He was drawn wide, and will run very well again. Probably comes down to draws. And looking forward to a filly called What a Fox running. Her form reads well, but is still a maiden. She should have won a maiden the other day. Runs in the Fillies Classic, which hasn't come up strong, which is very often the case. And she gets out to the mile for the first time, which she'll relish. So she's a really interesting filly. It goes quite nicely, and I think we'll run a big race at, I imagine, quite big odds.
Okay, good. Yeah. And what about further down the track into the Cup week? Have you got sort of really strong chances in the Group 1s through there? Derby, Oaks, Emirates, McKinnon.
Yeah, I think Haitatsu has come through the Guineas in great form. Worked yesterday, worked very well, and will line up in the Derby. A serious chance. We were not surprised, but pleased to see him run so well in the Guineas. We thought he had the talent to do that, but no doubt he's looking for more ground. So he'll line up in the Derby and have a very, very good chance. And I thought Biscayne Bay was a great trial for the Oaks.
Yeah.
She closed off well. We're going to apply blinkers for the Oaks because she just gets caught a little bit flat-footed, and that'll just help her travel a touch. So they're the 2 and the 3-year-old race that we're most looking forward to, away from the Cup.
Okay, good. Yeah, really appreciate you giving us the time, David. And it has been duly noted that you're wearing the Waikato Stud hoodie with the New Zealand flag on the side.
Yeah.
Love to see you repping a New Zealand flag, David. Really appreciate your time and best of luck for the weekend.
No worries. Thanks very much. All the best.
Another big weekend of racing coming up in Sydney as well. We've grabbed Tommy Berry, does have a New Zealand connection this weekend as well, riding on Trivier. But before we get on to this weekend's ride, Tommy, congratulations for the Kosciuszko winning. So close to getting the double in the Everest as well.
Yeah, no, it's still one of those Kiwis knocked me off there, didn't they? But no, 2 of them, Chris and James. But no, look, it was a great weekend. Good to do it for good connections and the Robinson family for the Kosciuszko. It's been a race. It's been a real revelation since it's come on the scene, and it's a great compliment to the Everest as well. And no, the Everest was an exciting race. It looked like being one on paper, having a horse like Nature Strip. It's an on-speed runner, and everyone would have been looking for Master Crusader that last furlong, and he didn't fail to deliver, that's for sure. So, look, he's going to have a few more chances at it. He's only young, so hopefully he can get one in the next couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's look ahead to Saturday. Just tell us how that ride on Trivier came about.
Well, I've always, had a good connection with Jamie Richardson and the TRL team. I think I trialled a couple of horses for him, like Probabil, while James was in Melbourne, just to do him a favour, and we've always kept in contact since then. And when I heard that James might be going to Melbourne for the Cox Plate, I was obviously having to make a decision whether to go for Mo'unga or not. And I just, let Jamie know and his team that if I had the ride on Entrevier, that enticed me to stay here with obviously a good ride in the Bondi Stakes as well. So it's a new race. It's obviously worth $2 million. I've always been envious of the mare. She's got a great winning record, and even when she doesn't win, she puts in a great performance. So they're the sort of horses that you want to go to war with and get on top of, and excited that excited to be on the right side of the Kiwis on the weekend instead of the wrong side.
Absolutely. Obviously, she's taken her good New Zealand form to Sydney as well. Her race day form has been good and her trials have been excellent. How are you assessing that in context of what she has to do on Saturday?
Yeah, well, a run in the Straka when she won at Kembla was incredible, and obviously last start in the Golden Pendant, she had to be taken back from a wide alley, and the speed in the race was quite moderate, and she ran home the best sectionals of the day. So that speaks volumes. Going back through her sectionals and what time she ran. Just praying for a good gate on the weekend. You saw, she could settle. She can always settle much closer, especially in that trial that she had a week and a half ago. It was quite, and trialling up against a horse like Classic Legend going into an Everest, and she was going just as well. So that was a perfect tick-over trial for her. There's a bit of rain around during the week, which will only enhance her chances, I believe. But providing she draws well, I think she's the best mare over here at the moment, and she's stated that all preparation. So, I think should almost be a good thing if she can draw a good alley.
Okay, I'm loving that confidence talk, and I guess that the real sign of confidence is the fact that you're there in Sydney to ride her.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And as I said, that was the decision I made when I had the ride on her to stay here. It's not too often you get to ride exciting mares like her very often. So, it's one that I'm really looking forward to.
Okay, and you did talk about the Bondi Stakes. You team up with Halal and another really on paper rock solid chance in the race.
Yeah, he's always a horse that showed Group 1 abilities. He's Group 1 placed twice, once at the mile behind Cap Devant in the Champagne. Cap Devant's going around in the Cox Plate on the weekend, so that form's obviously stood up quite well. He was a very impressive winner last start after going quite keen most of the way, and put away the same sort of field he's going to be meeting on the weekend. So he might have the winkers off, I think, on the weekend, stepping up to the mile. Providing he relaxes and gets the right run, I think he'll be very hard to beat again.
Okay, another race on the program of interest is that Tats Cup, and you're with Zarak there. Just assess this bloke for us.
Yeah, always a horse I've had a lot of time for. Enough time for that. Going back in the day when he was having his first start for the preparation, I chose to ride him over Zaki. I think it was in the Craven Plate maybe. So far, Zaki's delivered, and this guy, he's on his way hopefully, and he's running the Metrop was really good. That's obviously the best form going around at the moment with the stayers, and he'll take that into the race on the weekend, and he's, I think, the best horse in the race. But he's a horse I think is going to be better over the autumn. He's taken a little while to settle into his surroundings here in Australia, and those horses always take 2 or 3 preparations, but I believe on the weekend it's the right sort of makeup, right sort of race. Hopefully he draws well where I can put him to sleep, and I think he can be victorious again.
Okay, I know we're early on a Wednesday, so we're not a great chance to have an in-depth look through the form, Tommy. But is there anything else on your book of rides that you're really looking forward to Saturday?
Yeah, I'm riding a horse called Zarastro in the Brian Crowley. Really nice horse for the Waller team. He's had one start previously, second behind Paul Ailey, which obviously looks incredible form now. He's had 2 trials back, good grounding for the preparation, and has won both of them trials quite well. So riding him and one called Secret Revolution for the Snowden team, a 2-year-old, very well bred, had 1 trial at Randwick, and was very impressive. So hopefully we get a nice track for him on the weekend, and he's one that I think you can follow the whole way through the 2-year-old races onto a slipper, hopefully.
Okay, yeah, Tommy, from here, what's the plans for you? Do you get a chance to get down to Melbourne for Cup Week, or you're firmly sort of based in Sydney for the next few weeks?
Yeah, well, look, it's tough because you've got to do a 5-day quarantine, as Hugh Bowman and James are doing, to go and ride in the Cox Plate. So to ride here Golden Eagle Day, which I will, you can't get to Melbourne for Melbourne Cup Day because there's not enough time in between. But then you've got, a really good day's racing the following Saturday there with the Darley Sprint, which Master Crusader could be a chance of going to. So whether I make this decision to go there, if the Hawks team want me to ride him, that's one that's going to have to be made in the sort of coming days. But if I was going to get to Melbourne, that's probably the only day that'd be possible.
Okay, so is there a horse that's twisting your arm for the Golden Eagle?
Yeah, I've gone with a horse called Law of Indices. He's trained by Annabelle Neesham. He's been in Australia for probably 10 days now. He's got really good form from overseas. He was a Group 1 winner in France 3 starts back. And he's got some really good form lines that have come out of that since over the Ascot Carnival and stuff. So he's an exciting miler, and he's got very similar or even better form to Zaki when he came over. So excited to see what he can do. It is obviously very hard for horses to come over here and he be here probably 16, 17 days before the race, but he's with the right stable. Obviously, Annabelle's been very good with her international horses since she started training, so I'm sure she'll know what it takes to have him ready on the big day.
Okay, really appreciate you giving us the time, Tommy, here on the form, and we wish you all the best, especially with John Trivia. Get it home for us, eh?
Thanks for having me on the show, and hopefully we're talking on Sunday morning. That'd be great.
Thanks to all our guests on the form today. Hopefully you've gained some insight into the form for Thursday racing, but also what's upcoming later on in the week as well. Let's check out today's best bets. And that wraps us up on the Thursday edition of the form. Thanks for your company and good luck if you are following our tips as into their bets. Emily Bosson back for a look into the Friday form tomorrow, and I'll be back for the Saturday form show later in the week as well. Good luck for any bets that you've got this week, and thanks for joining us as always.